Back on CBS Sports HQ, looking at conference title Sunday by the numbers. 49ers and Eagles going to do battle at the Link. Eagles, early look line, laying 1.5, really just a home field advantage built in there. Totals coming in at 45.5 as these two physical ball clubs go toe to toe. And then Sunday night on CBS, 6:30 Eastern, Bengals and Chiefs. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo on the call. Chiefs 1-point favorites. Vegas expecting tight ball games in both of these conference title matchups. Back with the players, Douzable, Bryant, McFadden in the mix with some early plays as we take a look at Championship Sunday. Starting on the NFC side, guys. Eagles 1.5-point favorites against the Niners. Totals coming in at 45.5. Promises to be knockdown, drag-out stuff. Two teams that love to get into the run game. Got me leaning under, Mac. Where are you leaning?
Give me Philly. I think this is going to be a heavyweight type of fight match between both ball clubs. Similarities when you look at how they run the football, look at the defensive side and how they fly around. But give me Jalen Hurts, give me A.J. Brown, Miles Sanders, Lane Johnson and crew. If they're healthy, they're going to be productive. So I like what I'm seeing from the Eagles. I'm rocking and rolling with the Eagles.
B-Mac, I can't even be upset with you after what we saw the Eagles do to the New York Giants yesterday. But I'm going the other side. Give me the points with San Francisco. This is a team that was just there last year. Now, the quarterback is different, and the way this defense plays, we saw it. 2 big turnovers a day. I think, they'll be able to get after Jalen Hurts. That's going to be the matchup, right? I talked about this earlier in the show. The RPO game. If San Francisco can mitigate that, I think it could be a long day for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I know they were able to run the ball really well versus the Giants defense, but the San Francisco 49ers aren't the Giants defense. They're the #1 defense in football. I like, Kyle Shanahan to draw up some plays to make it easier for Brock Purdy. I believe San Francisco goes in there and finishes the job this year. Last year, they couldn't do it. I like them this year to take it in the Link and go to the Super Bowl.
Man, we've been looking at 4, 4.5. There's been 9s out there, 8.5. So we're looking at 1.5 and 1 in these two conference title games. When you get down to the Final Four, you're in that upper echelon. Taking a look at the AFC now, Chiefs laying 1 against the Bengals. Revenge on the mind after the Bengals came into their building and then walked to the Super Bowl in overtime last season. Total there's 47.5 dues. What do you want to do with the 47.5?
How can you bet against the Cincinnati Bengals right now? They'll play you in the parking lot. They'll play you in the snow. They'll play you in the neighborhood field. It don't matter where they are. They will play you, and they will beat you. Joe Burrow is so surgical right now, Joe and B-Mac. It's ridiculous. I mean, they tried to go zone coverage. He knew where to go with the football. When they decided to blitz and go man, he knew how to get the ball off. I mean, simple check downs going for 10 yards because Joe Burrow is just so far ahead of anybody on the other defensive side. He knows exactly what to do with the football. And the thing that they found today versus the Buffalo Bills was the run game. I think that's going to be the big thing versus the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to have to get Joe Mixon going in that run game. And what other team has more confidence than the Bengals to beat the Kansas City Chiefs? They've done it 3 times in a row. So how could you not pick the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game? Yes, Patrick Mahomes, gutsy performance yesterday with the ankle. We saw he had the ankle injury. We'll see where that is. B-Mac, you know this. That ankle injury tends to get worse. You're fighting off adrenaline during the game, so we'll see where he's at as the week goes on, especially if it truly is a high ankle, because so much of what the Chiefs have done this year is the mobility with, Patrick Mahomes being able to keep plays alive and then throw the ball down the field. We saw after that ankle injury, he wasn't able to do that as much versus Jacksonville Jaguars. The Cincinnati Bengals defense with Lou Anarumo, man, they get after you. That front four will get after you. They're so multiple in their looks in the secondary. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals on the road to reach the Super Bowl in back-to-back years.
I second that. I echo everything you just mentioned there, Leger, based on your assessment of the game. I'm riding with Cincinnati as well. I mean, I have injury concerns in regards to Pat Mahomes. Like you said, he sprained his ankle. He was able to utilize the adrenaline to get back into the ball game, but I sprained my ankle 1,000 times. Monday, it's going to hurt. Tuesday, it's going to hurt worse. Wednesday, wow, it's going to swell. It's going to turn colors. You're talking about being ready to go enough to be effective. By Sunday, against a defense they're not afraid of you. If you look at what they did the first meeting in the regular season, had a quality game plan against Pat Mahomes. If you go back to last year's playoff game as well, quality game plan against Pat Mahomes. They're not afraid of Pat Mahomes when he's healthy. Clearly, they're not afraid of Pat Mahomes when he's about 70, 60%. So I like the defense being able to be impactful against Pat Mahomes, knowing that he won't be close to being 100%. And Joe Cool Burrow. I don't know if there's another guy as cool as Joe. And I think he's going to have opportunities to make big-time plays. So give me Cincinnati taking care of business once again against the Chiefs.
I mean, get me to Sunday. Can we sleep fast and get there right now?
And think about how fortunate we are because the 4 best teams are currently in it. And 2 outstanding matchups that we cannot wait to see. Even with Pat Mahomes limping around, we still want to see this matchup. And then when you talk about the NFC, oh my goodness, like, let's go right now. I'm ready to see a fight.
Line it up. Let's get to it. That's how they see it. Opinions could change throughout the week. The news will come down. Pat Mahomes' health going to be a big one as we take a look at the odds to win the Super Bowl. I mean, you're looking at 1 and 1.5 in terms of the game line, so these numbers match it. Eagles with a slight edge over the Niners and the Bengals. Chiefs and Eagles both positioned at plus 260. Some nice money there if you can pick the right team out of these 4. Niners and Bengals not far behind there at plus 275. And don't forget, there's only one place to be for all your NFL needs. That's on All Things Covered with P2 and B-Max, sitting down with some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment week in and week out for those can't-miss conversations. Download, subscribe, and enjoy All Things Covered.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.